And we are back, you guys. I literally just clicked stop recording and start recording again. And we're moving down here to pastel mixing. This is something that I'm very intrigued by because when I've just been kind of doing things by trial and error, I have not necessarily been having the smoothest outcome when it comes to mixing my pastels. And I've got a pretty decent idea of how watercolor mixes work. I know when I'm mixing these two colors together, they're going to make a variation of so and so color. Not sure about that when it comes to the water solubles. So that is what we are about to figure out today. I'm super excited to dig into this. So first, I know that when I mix, like for example, I like to make darks. With watercolor, a lot of artists will tell you it's better to mix complementary colors together rather than using actual black because there's just more nuance or whatever, there's more depth. And I want to see if that's going to be the case when it comes to the water soluble pastels as well. So the first thing I'm going to try is going to be blue and orange to see if it'll give me black or more so like gray, for shadows and stuff like that. So here we have, what is this called? Blue Outrimber. I actually think this is a very nice rich blue as well, you guys. And then we're going to use orange. That's just the name of this one. Now I am going to simply fill this circle with both the colors. So already, if I were to not use them if I were to not add water, I could see how this could feel or look like a more shadowy area already. But let's go ahead and add water into the mix and see what happens when you mix them together. I also do wonder if there makes a difference of what color you use on the bottom versus what color you use on the top. So I put the blue down first and then put the orange down. And this is the end result. I actually think that's a pretty good shadow color. It's not gray. I would even beg to say that this is kind of sort of actually it's weird. Looking in the camera it looks gray, but in person it has like a green tint to it. I don't know how to make you guys see what I see, but that's okay. Yeah, to me that's slightly green. Really quickly, like I said, just because I wanted to test it out to see if that made a difference, that came to my mind on the spot, if it matters what color I put on the bottom. So there is the orange on the bottom and the blue on the top this time. Let's see if that makes a difference. It looks like it might. I tried to make sure I used the same amount. So I guess it does. This is a bit warmer and this is cooler, obviously. So nice to know these colors actually mix well together. Let's see. I am going to try now to do purple with yellow. Is that dry? I'm gonna lay my hand on it. Okay. And this specifically is violet, you guys. And if I didn't make it clear, I am using my Caran. And this is yellow. I'm also just gonna put yellow on the side here so we can do that same experiment and see if it makes a difference. Okay. I mean, it even looks different when you put it down that way. So I'm trying to remember what mauve looks like, but that's what this is giving me. It's giving me mauve. One second. Yeah. Those are the feels. Okay, lovely. That could still be good as a shadow. It's just not as deep and dark. So now moving here, again, since looks like since yellow was on the bottom, just coming out a little bit differently. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do another set of complementary colors. We are going to do red with green. And again, this is me trying to accomplish darks, really dark darks without using black, just to see if that's something that can be done with Caran or not. So this is Vert Emerald with Scarlet. So already having them like this, I could see that being used as a shadow, honestly. I didn't mean to just toss all that water down, but okay, here we go. Okay, so the green and the red are making a deeper dark than these others, which kind of sort of makes sense. Lovely. I am loving this. Oh, very nice. There's that dark I'm looking for. And with red on the bottom and green on the top, let's see. It's just interesting how, depending on what color you put on the bottom, it really does change the color. Because I really am using approximately like the same amount when I draw them out. But I have noticed when putting water soluble on top of another water soluble, sometimes it's like you have to apply more of the color on top because the color on the bottom is I don't know how to express what I'm trying to say. Point is, that's what I got out of this. So very interesting. So when I want some darks, it looks like it'll be a good idea to use the the green and the red. What I'm going to try to do now is, what if I mix the blue with brune, brown. I read the other language. Okay, so let's put it in here, and we're going to go on top of it with brown, and so that's giving us a better option if we want a deeper shadow than the blue and the orange. I really like that. Also, let's do brown with, very nice. Okay, what other color combinations could I possibly make and see if maybe, oh, you know what? Let's use violet and orange and see what happens with that. Since the violet and yellow were still kind of on the brighter side, which still works as a shadow, depending on how warm or deep it is, dark, I should say. Okay, and this is going to be so important for me going forward. I'm super excited to be doing this. Hmm. I wonder if I could have just used more purple. I'm going to go ahead and put the violet in there and see. All right, now let's use this on the bottom, this on the top, and get a little bit more of that. Okay. I think that could be used for shadowing as well. But it seems like my really, really good options for deep shadows are this and even this, if I want it to be more on the blue side. And even, like I said, this, if I want it to be a little bit more green. I wonder also what would happen if I put a little bit more brown in this. Uh, Let me see if I can do it here, using more brown than the blue. Okay. Ah, here. I think I also meant to try the ochre with another color. I was going to try it with the blue. That's definitely giving that shadow effect without adding water. Okay, very nice. It looks like it's going to be deeper than this. And let me just do ochre. All right. So there we have it. For the most part, I've learned some interesting things about mixing these colors together. The other thing I do want to do, which I'm going to flip onto another free sheet of paper to continue doing this, is I do actually want to mix my browns and blacks to see what those will look like, because I still don't want to just use straight up black when it comes to making shadows and stuff. But at the same time, if I need to use it, well, then I need to use it. So here, I think I am going to use black and ochre together and see what they create. So that looks like a very nice deep shadow. I like that. Okay. So that's good. That's actually very good. I'm glad to see that. And I'll be even more happy to see what it looks like when it dries, I'm sure. So now we're going to do black with brown and see what those equal. Very good shadowing without water. And then when we add water, it's giving us some good deep, oh, good deep darks. Love that. Now, just out of curiosity, we're going to do black plus, can't see it, white. So I probably just need to like write it. That way I don't think there's an empty color. And see what kind of gray this gives us. Love it. Absolutely adore this. This is perfect. So now I think I can definitely still use these like if I want. I don't think the black is going to lessen any of the dimensions, but I am actually curious because I'm liking what I'm seeing with the black and white. So I'm wondering if I want to make a shadow and let's just say I see, I don't know, purple in the shadow, if it would be a good idea to mix black with purple or violet plus white, which again, I'll write it here that this is white. It's an ugly circle, but let's see. I'll even do one with just the black and the purple next, or black and blue. We'll see. Very nice. That's so beautiful. Also makes me curious. I don't really think I need to do just the two colors alone, but I will just to see. Now I wonder what would happen if I actually mix the complementary colors, but then add a splash of black. So I'm going to do purple plus yellow plus a little bit of black. Hmm. I do think it comes out a little bit differently. Probably could have used more black, but looking like from this to like this. So it does make a difference adding in black. So now let me just see. Um, like if I were to do the blue and the orange again and black. Okay. Well, just as a reminder, like the blue and the orange. Mm, hmm, compared to that. Okay. I think I've done enough color mixing. However, I still have options. So now I just want to see like red, green. Okay. Let me say this. So overall, here we are with all of the pastel mixings with trying to make shadow colors with complementary colors. And overall, I think they did a decent job. It depends, of course, on what is actually being painted or what mixtures would be needed. I would say without adding black, my favorite combinations are going to be the green and the red, the blue and the brown, and in some cases, the blue and the ochre. But overall, the green and the red, the blue and the brown. But I have to say, for water-soluble pastels, when I really need some dark darks, I'm just gonna have to use the black. Like there's no way around it compared to when doing watercolor paintings. So I honestly love every single one of these combinations that I made. I think they are appropriate for different points of time, but it's really, really nice to know that to make a good gray that doesn't look like it's flattened out or like a Payne's gray or something, I guess I would say is really a nice mixture is the black with the ochre. I also do like black with white in some cases, but just seeing that I can just add, that color and put black, I think that works nicely as well. But especially using the complementary colors and then adding some black to it just to darken it up, I think is probably the best solution for certain things. But this was a very fun experiment. And again, I hope this was very informative. And I will see you all next time. Bye, Neiman.